Visual effects plays a really important part of this game in particular, even more so than the last two titles. The characters are more dramatic, there's big, larger-than-life characters, and there's also more exciting characters that you never were able to play before. And so our job in this game is to bring those things to life in a really spectacular way, in the same way that special effects bring a blockbuster movie to life. One of the highlights of this game is, of course, the Balrog. Visually, he's a very exciting character. The big challenge was to create the most realistic fire ever seen in a video game, and to really bring him to life and make him as convincing as he was in the movie. To start off with, I built elements of Flame using Maya's fluid dynamics system. And so the advantage of using that as a starting point is that it recreates a really realistic way that Flame actually moves. And so it has a lot of texture, and just the movement of it is really convincing. And so this is the basis of what I use for the Flame in-game. Then I take it into our proprietary effects system and essentially build mini effects. Then I change it to a sort of like an X-ray mode where I can actually see his individual joints. So here you can see the different bones within his skeleton moving. This line that's coming out from his hand is actually his whip. And then what I can do is pick bone by bone and attach individual effects. So there's some emitting from different joints in his wings, there's some on his arms, on his legs, on his torso, glows on his eyes, and of course there's all kinds of fire coming off of his back and his sort of fiery mane. And then in addition to that, there's smoke that's pouring off of both legs, his torso, and his wings. So in total, there's probably 30 different miniature effect systems that all combine to give you the overall look of the Balrog. In previous games that I've worked on, once we start hitting around 2,000 particles, the frame rate starts to drag. We can push between 10 and 20,000 particles before we even begin to impact our frame rate. So that gives us a massive advantage over other games. Typically in a video game, Flame is really recognizable as a looping, repeating pattern, and it tends to be really glowy and not very detailed. And so my goal was to make it have a lot of texture and a lot of movement and feel real and fluid and alive and dangerous. And so and I think we've accomplished that on this game.